Have you ever walked along a beautiful mountain path? The air is crisp, the birds are singing their songs, the trees stand tall and strong, reaching for the heavens. You feel a sense of peace, a quiet joy in the stillness of nature. But then, you see it. A plastic bottle tossed carelessly into the bushes, a crumpled chip bag lying beside a stream. Suddenly the perfect picture is stained. Someone came before you, enjoyed the beauty, and left their refuse behind. They took the good and left the bad, leaving a scar on the landscape for all who would follow. It is a small act, but it speaks volumes about a heart that takes without giving back in equal measure. This is not just a problem found in our parks and along our highways. It is a habit that we have carried with us even to the final frontier. As we have reached for the stars, we have also left our trail of clutter. For decades, we have sent satellites, rockets, and probes into the vast emptiness of space. We have explored new worlds and connected our own in amazing ways, but with each mission, we have left behind pieces of our journey. Now, orbiting our beautiful blue planet is a cloud of our own making. It is a junkyard in the heavens, a collection of forgotten tools, spent rocket stages, and silent, broken satellites. We look at the trash on the ground and shake our heads. We read about the debris in space and feel a distant concern. We know this is not how things are supposed to be. We understand on some level that our actions have consequences. The earth groans under the weight of our waste. The heavens are becoming a treacherous place for the very instruments we rely on. We created this problem piece by piece, decision by decision. It began with small choices, small moments of carelessness, a single wrapper tossed from a window, a single bolt left floating in orbit. Each one seemed insignificant at the time, but together they have created a mess of a grand scale. It is a curious thing about humanity. We are capable of such incredible creation and such breathtaking beauty. We compose symphonies that can bring tears to the eyes. We build cathedrals that lift the soul toward God. We paint masterpieces that capture the very essence of life. And yet, we are also capable of such thoughtless destruction. We pollute the very ground that sustains us and the very skies that inspire us. It is a paradox that lives within each of us. We yearn for purity and order, yet we contribute to the chaos and the clutter. It is a story as old as time, written in the soil and now written in the stars. The consequences of our earthly pollution are all around us, aren't they? We see them in the hazy smog that hangs over our cities, obscuring the sunshine. We feel them in the water that is no longer safe to drink straight from the river. We witness them in the struggles of wildlife whose homes are being choked by our plastics and chemicals. These are not just ugly sights, they are signs of a system in distress. The delicate balance of God's creation is being disrupted by the things we discard without a second thought. The land cries out, the water becomes bitter, and the air grows heavy. Our carelessness creates a ripple effect that touches everything. And what about the clutter in space? It may seem far away, a problem for scientists and astronauts. But this space junk poses a very real threat. Imagine millions of tiny metal pieces moving faster than a bullet, orbiting the Earth. Each one is a potential disaster for the working satellites we depend on every single day. These satellites help us navigate our cars, predict the weather, and connect with loved ones across the globe. A collision with even a small piece of debris could silence one of these vital instruments, sending it tumbling out of control. Our modern way of life in many ways hangs by a thread in a sky we have filled with our own technological garbage. The problem is that the mess doesn't just go away. On Earth, plastic can take hundreds of years to break down, leaching toxins into the soil all the while. In space, with no atmosphere to burn it up, debris can stay in orbit for centuries, a permanent monument to our past endeavors. We have created a lasting legacy of waste. We have fouled our own nest. It is a sobering reminder that our choices have a long-lasting impact, far beyond the present moment. The convenience of today can become the crisis of tomorrow. It is a heavy burden for future generations to inherit, a problem they did not create but will be forced to solve. This story of pollution, both on land and in the heavens, is a powerful picture of a deeper spiritual truth. We see how easily we can tarnish something beautiful. We see how small, careless acts can accumulate into a significant danger. It forces us to ask a difficult question. If we can pollute the physical world that God has given us, is it possible that we are also polluting our spiritual lives? Is it possible that we are cluttering our hearts and our worship in the very same way? The patterns are strikingly similar: a casual disregard for what is pure, a focus on our own convenience, and a trail of debris left in our wake. The Bible speaks of a different kind of pollution, one that happens not in the soil or the sky but in the human heart. It is the pollution of our worship. The prophet Malachi saw this firsthand among the people of Israel. They were still going to the temple, they were still bringing sacrifices to God. On the surface it may have looked like they were doing all the right things, but God saw their hearts. He saw the truth behind their religious actions. He saw that their worship had become polluted, cluttered with disrespect and half-heartedness. They were offering him not their best, but their leftovers, the things they didn't want anyway. God, through Malachi, asked them a piercing question. He told them to offer their sick, blind, and lame animals to their governor. Would he be pleased with such a gift? Of course not. A human leader would be insulted by such a worthless offering. And yet, this is what the people were bringing to the King of the universe. They were keeping the healthy, strong, and valuable animals for themselves. They were giving God the scraps. Their worship was not an act of genuine love and sacrifice. It had become a grudging obligation, a box to be checked. They treated the holy altar of God like a place to discard their trash. Their attitude was one of weariness. Malachi records their words. "What a burden," they complained. They sniffed at God's commands with contempt. Coming to worship felt like a chore, not a privilege. Their hearts were not in it. They were just going through the motions. This is a subtle but dangerous form of spiritual pollution. It's when our praise becomes hollow. It's when our prayers become routine lists of demands. It's when we give God the tired, leftover moments of our day, after we have given our best energy to everything else. We would never treat an honored guest in our home this way, yet we can so easily offer this polluted worship to our Creator. Think about what you bring to God each day. Do you give Him the first moments of your morning, or the last exhausted seconds before you fall asleep? Do you offer Him your best talents and energy, or do you save those for your job, your hobbies, or your own entertainment? God doesn't need our offerings. He owns everything already. What He desires is our heart. He wants our pure, undivided devotion. An offering is not about the gift itself, but about the love and honor that the gift represents. When we give God our leftovers, we are saying, in effect, that everything else in our life is more important than Him. The good news is a message of grace. You and I, we have all offered polluted worship. We have all had days where our hearts were far from God, even as our lips sang His praises. We have all given Him our leftovers. We have all treated His holy presence with a casualness that He does not deserve. We have cluttered our spiritual lives with selfishness, apathy, and divided loyalties. And for this, we need forgiveness. This is why Jesus came. His sacrifice on the cross was the one perfect offering. He is the Lamb without blemish, and through Him, God washes our hearts clean. His mercy covers our failures and our irreverence. But this incredible grace is not a license to continue polluting our worship. God's forgiveness does not remove the damage that a careless heart can cause. He forgives us, yes, but He still calls us to a higher standard. He still deserves our absolute best. He is still worthy of an unpolluted and holy devotion. Knowing that we are forgiven should not make us lazy in our love. Instead, it should inspire us to love Him more purely. It should motivate us to sweep the clutter from our hearts and to offer Him a worship that is intentional, joyful, and given from a place of deep gratitude for the grace we have received. Just as we can choose to pick up a piece of trash on a forest trail, we can choose to keep our worship clean. It is a daily decision. It is a moment-by-moment choice to give God the first and the best of our time, our talents, and our treasures. It means coming to Him not with a sigh of obligation, but with a shout of joy. It means examining our hearts and asking, am I giving God my best, or am I giving Him what is left over? It means guarding our inner world from the pollution of bitterness, cynicism, and indifference, so that what we offer to Him is pure. Let this be our prayer. Lord, help us to see the world You have made with eyes of wonder and to treat it with care. More than that, Lord, help us to see You with eyes of love and to worship You with a clean heart. Forgive us for the times we have offered You less than our best. Create in us a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within us. May our lives be a clean offering, a pleasing aroma to You. May we leave behind not a trail of spiritual clutter, but a legacy of sincere and beautiful devotion. A clear sky begins with a clean heart.